Ladies and gentlemen, it is still within the week of the launch of season 2, and based off of everything that we are seeing, we got a new update. So this update affects everything: multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. It goes out across the board. I would say probably the biggest changes throughout this update have to go for Warzone. They actually have some weapon changes and things along those lines that we will get into throughout this. But as I mentioned, I used to do these videos on the main channel. I feel as though they kind of fit with the second channel a little bit better now, because I can give you kind of my more opinions on what I think is going on here and things along those lines. So let's dive into the update, the patch notes, things along those lines. Can you see? You can. Okay. We have it zoomed in. So this is the multiplayer and zombies portion of things. We'll get into the Warzone section in a minute. Join on friends addressed an issue that prevented players from joining their friend's party due to an error that stated you were on different versions. So thank God this was affecting literally everyone. It was probably the worst thing that was implemented with season 2. A lot of people having problems with it. Also, they addressed an issue that immediately clicked player 2 when attempting to enable split screen. So hopefully split screen should be fixed now. I know people had a bunch of problems with it. And if you're still having problems, let me know down in the comments. Ranked play crossplay. At the start of season 2, we implemented a new crossplay option for ranked play that allowed players on console to select the platform pools they wish to matchmake with. We have been keeping a close eye on the conversation surrounding this topic and wanted to share some additional details about it. Basically, what they are saying here is who and when and how you play with different things on. First off, it is based off of your main party member if you're playing in a party. So just know that. Now, there is one known issue. We are investigating an issue where crossplay on console only and crossplay off were settings being reset when launching the game. Obviously, that's a problem. You have to do this every single time you would log in. Apparently, that is being fixed now. UI addressed an issue where prestige challenges were not populating the nearest to completion list in the challenge tracker. I'm hoping they are working to improve the challenge tracker to actually show you more than one challenge going on at a time, because as of right now, that's one of my biggest issues with the challenge tracker. Say, for example, I select my camo for my XM4, but then I start using the PPSH and I also track that one. It will only show me the XM4 ones because I selected that first. And until I complete those ones, it won't show me the other challenges that I'm tracking, which is completely pointless. Addressed an issue where some players would see the Prestige Master splash in the after action report after every match. So that one is fixed. Addressed an issue that prevented tiers from being displayed on the challenge tracker. Addressed an issue that pinned challenges on the challenge tracker were not displaying correctly. So maybe that is actually fixed now. We'll have to actually dive in game and check that out. Addressed an issue where XP earned and Black Cell XP bonus were flipped in the after action report. I was going to say, it made it look like all of the Black Cell, all the XP you're getting was from Black Cell, but really it was the other way around. Addressed an issue where challenge tracker would not automatically cycle to the next page after 8 seconds. Okay, so I think that's another part of that. So those should start to be better now as well. Weapons improve muzzle flash, visibility on all SMGs while aiming down sights. Characters address an issue where Weaver's knocked Raider skin would have an extra skull. I don't know how that happens. Multiplayer, hardcore, enabled spawn protection in hardcore modes. That is interesting. That is really interesting. That's a bigger change than I expected to see here. Leaderboards added a filter to multiplayer leaderboards to toggle between core and hardcore. Addressed an issue that prevented flowing low challenge from progressing. And then there's just a bunch of different individual issues here on the Tomb, on Terminus. They have things, crash fixes, things along those lines, leaderboards, UI, graphics, stability, all of that good stuff. So that is the multiplayer. That's the Black Ops 6 side of things. Now, moving into Warzone, let's actually start off from the beginning here. Buy stations, locations across Urzikstan have been updated. Tracker is now properly unrestricted in ranked play. The LTV vehicle has been disabled while we investigate an issue. It doesn't say anything in there about Mountaineer. Does anybody know if that is currently working properly? If you checked it out, feel free to let me know down in the comments, but it doesn't say anything about it here. Then we have ranked play. At the start of season 2, we implemented crossplay, blah, 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 same sort of thing. Players in party who belong to the same console platform will matchmake with the party leader's preferred crossplay settings. So that's what I was talking about before. Reminder, adjusting crossplay settings may negatively impact matchmaking queue time. So we all know that. Now, this is when we get into the meta changes. There's only a couple of them. This is the one thing that I did look at in advance. First off, we have XM4, maximum damage range, damage decreased, medium damage range, damage decrease. That's pretty much the biggest one. That's going to make a huge difference. And then your minimum damage, your long range, is going to be exactly the same. Also, your 100 round mag sprint to fire penalty increased from 16 to 26%. That's a big nerf. Buffer stock, this thing got obliterated. New sprint to fire penalty 15%. Aim down sight speed penalty increased to 31%. Horizontal recoil decreased from 45% to 30%. Vertical recoil bonus decreased as well, and gun kick control decreased. So this thing is not what it was before. I still think the XM4 will be decent, but this right here, the damage down there, that is the one that is going to make the big difference. But those are the two difference. Submachine guns in Black Ops 6. Muzzle flash stability while aiming down sights is better. The Jackal PDW aim down sight speed slowed and sprint to fire time slowed. So a little bit worse. Basically, the C9 I think is going to be the go-to one on this now. And then they improved all of the ranges on the PPSH. So literally all of them except for that maximum range. Will this make it really good? I don't think so, but they also leg multiplier increased to 1. Vertical foregrip, horizontal recoil control increased. Precision, and basically all of the foregrips got a buff. Then we also have a bunch of bug fixes, which we might as well read through here. Fixed an issue that prevented players from joining their friends. So that's just like the multiplayer fix there. Fixed an issue that caused the game to crash if players attempted to join a custom match hosted by a player on a different platform. Obviously, that's a problem. Fixed an issue that prevented players from hearing enemy self-revive audio. So that's a good one. I saw a bunch of people complain about that. Fixed an issue causing players to move slower than intended speeds on ascenders. That was also on zip lines. Let's see if that one is in there as well. Fixed an issue where some players would see Prestige Master splat screen, so that's the same as multiplayer. Fixed an issue where Prestige challenges were not populating to the nearest to completion list on the tracker. Guess that's good. Fixed an issue that prevented the tiers from being displayed on the challenge tracker. Fixed an issue where pin challenges on the challenge tracker were not displaying correctly. Hopefully that is like the camo one that I was talking about before. Time will tell. Fixed an issue where the challenge tracker would not automatically cycle to the next page after 8 seconds. Fixed an issue that caused matches on Rebirth Island to sometimes defer in skybox lighting. And fixed an issue where XP earned, so that's the exact same as multiplayer as well. So that it would show your black cell XP was your main XP and not the other way. So all in all, this, what I am seeing in this update, I'm going to be very clear about this. What I am seeing in this update is what needs to be happening next, pretty much weekly from here on out in this game. And someone reminded me something today on stream. We used to, when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 was first released, we would get updates pretty much weekly. Pretty much every Thursday when we got a playlist update, we would get our playlists updated in multiplayer. We'd get it updated in Warzone. We'd get it updated. We'd get bug fixes in that update. We would get pretty much a complete new update. And then every second week, we would get intel in Warzone. And I believe this happened every Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember the exact day, but back then, 2019, weekly updates with bug fixes, with problem solving, with what we should be getting now. And this, what they did here in the same week as a season launch, I think is very important. With how often things are breaking, they need to be on top of fixing them. And hopefully this is the start of that. Hopefully I don't jinx that by saying this, but in a long time, this might be the beginning of things looking up. Maybe. Big maybe on that one.